The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, president and founder of Akers Financial Group. With me today is Noah Akers. I'm president and founder's son from Akers Financial Group. Noah Akers, we welcome you to Winning in Retirement this morning. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for welcoming me in here.
Well, Noah, you've been around Akers Financial Group for a long time. You've actually started out, I guess, high school, right into college and MBA school, and then you've been full-time working at Akers Financial Group, and you've been a full advisor working with our team at Akers Financial Group. And today's topic is one of those things where you're always the person involved in creating and working on the financial fingerprint for our clients, right, Noah?
I am. I do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I get to do it with all of my clients now, which is really exciting. Get to walk them through this whole process. I get all the questions. I see all the different variabilities that people have with their finances and get to walk them through our financial fingerprint process, which is, it's not patent pending, or I think we don't own the rights, but it's such a great step-by-step method to take clients through.
It is. So the show today is we call it Financial Fingerprint. So the reason we call it that is because a fingerprint is individual to yourself. You are unique. So is your finances. Your finances are unique, like a fingerprint or a snowflake. What do you agree? Do you agree with that one?
The financial fingerprint has a better ring than financial snowflake, especially because like your fingerprint lasts longer. Snowflake kind of comes down.
I wasn't recommending we change to snowflake. That would not work for me.
I like fingerprint.
All right. I know you like fingerprint. Yeah. Is it true that you did a project on fingerprint as a child?
I did. In sixth grade, we had this fair where we had to come up with like a hypothesis or a thesis and try to do all experiments. And so I did that on fingerprints, and I asked the question if they were hereditary, which is an easy Google search to find out that it's not.
Now it is, but Google really wasn't around much back then.
No, it wasn't. Not in sixth grade, nor did I think I knew how to use it.
Yeah.
And so, no, they are not hereditary. They're formed in the womb. It's when the infant gets to rub its hands on the other side of the womb. Yeah. And that's how they form their fingerprints.
All right. So how does that apply to finance? Let's go with this. Financial fingerprint is not hereditary. So the finances that are good by your parents doesn't mean that you're going to have those same good habits. You have to develop your own habits with your own family. A financial fingerprint is where are you right now. So if you go to our website at Akers, Akers, financialgroup.com, and you go under documents, you'll see how to discover a financial fingerprint. What kind of information that we need to find out about where you are today. Now, gathering information is a process with all new clients, and even with clients with reviewing, and especially when we get a client at that point of financial independence and they're ready to retire. And so, Noah, how do our clients give us information? What's the actual logistical way of giving us information?
Yeah, a lot of times I'll get the email of what do you guys need? And we get that kind of started in our conversations in that first meeting. And I send them a checklist that has all of the information that we need. That way, they don't have to think for themselves in the form of bank accounts, legal documents, financial statements, retirement account statements as well. Even we like to see their home and auto insurance policies, make sure that they're getting the right coverage. Because like you're licensed in property and casualty, right?
Yep.
And so it's really good to get a full top to bottom analysis of where everything is at.
Your business assets, the investment accounts, how you have your assets arranged, life insurance, group benefits. If you think about it, financial debts, everything, we need to see that. We want to read the pages. We want to believe what you tell us, but we want to prove it by seeing it on the paper.
Yeah, it is difficult to get into like a second or third meeting where the plan is really starting to become implemented a little bit more. And then they go, oh, I just found this credit card that I have a balance of about 10, 15 grand on. It's like, oh, okay, we might need to stop and
let's do that first.
Let's work on handling that debt first.
Yeah, so the idea is this. We're going to take our Akers Way. Our Akers Way is financial planning. Financial planning begins with where you are now. And truly, wherever you are now is where we need to start. We're not one that says, oh, when you gather enough assets, then come see us. We believe that the best way for you to gather assets to come see us is that by seeing us, then you'll gather the assets and build and grow and become a saver.
Yeah, like our first step in our 5-part plan is we identify.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times if you go to a different advisor, the first thing they'll ask is, how much money do you have? Let me have it.
Let me have it.
That's not what we do.
Well, that's a difference in product-driven advice or product-driven sales versus financial planning. Financial planning, the goal is to get to know the client, understand their situation, their goals, their risk tolerance, and then come back with the answer. Being an independent financial firm like Akers Financial Group is, and fee and or commission, what we want to do is provide based on what they have. That doesn't mean they have to change everything. Sometimes we can become the broker of record of things. What's broker of record, Noah?
What does it mean to be the broker of record?
Yeah.
It means to be the broker on that contract.
All right. So like if they paid the first advisor of commission, we can become the advisor on it, and we get statements, we see the accounts, it links to the portfolios where we can see it. You don't have to change, you don't have to pay a new commission, it's there.
Yeah, and it really allows us to get in and be able to help the client to its fullest.
And make changes that are needed, such as portfolio design, adding beneficiaries, which is all the time.
Yeah, that's a lot of the first meeting kind of conversation is, who are the beneficiaries on this account, or who do you want to be the beneficiaries? And a lot of the times it's not who they want, or it's not written up correctly. And so if they were to die tomorrow without us being able to get in and be able to help, things could go awry.
Right, and this takes a lot longer to clean things up if it's not done properly. So the idea of how to get information. So the way we get information from clients comes a couple of different ways. We give you the list, and then you got to provide it to us. Of course, paper still works, but paper's not as much fun. Paper, you already have stuff electronic. Why can't you save PDFs and then upload or download? So we have that, and we can upload through our website.
Yep, Black Diamond. We give you a link to upload. That's a secure load. It's fairly simple. I'm able to walk people through it every day if they need to. Emails as well, secure. They
encrypt it, right?
We encrypt it, and so then if anyone were to hack either of our inboxes, that's already encrypted.
All right, so encrypt it. Is it a safe way to transfer information? And can you explain just a little bit how it works? Like, how do you log into it?
How do you log into Black Diamond?
No, encrypt it.
Oh, into the encrypted? Well, for us, we shoot the email out.
Sure.
And so it's an outgoing, so they will receive it in their inbox, and it says secure in the top of it. Right. If it says secure in brackets, that means it's encrypted. At the bottom of the email, it also gives you a little sign that says, this email has been encrypted for security reasons. And so you're able to reply to that and to send us your information. And at that point, we're then able to begin to see where your financial fingerprint is at. Everybody has one, but whether they know their fingerprint or if they know where everything's at, like a lot of times we'll see clients have an account that they started 20, 30 years ago. And they're like, it doesn't grow very much. I don't know why. And then we see that statement and it's like, well, it's in a money market.
Yeah.
It's not in anything that's supposed to grow.
I love when somebody says, oh yeah, I bought an IRA at the bank. And what they meant was they bought an IRA at the bank and it's an IRA savings account. So the basket's an IRA, but what's actually in it is a savings account earning like 0.04. And I'm like, well, I believe we can do better than that.
And so like this identifying part of the process, it's information gathering, but it's also walking through and realizing like what they actually have. Most people don't know.
And then we gather it and put it all together into our planning software. That planning software is where we're able to then identify a balance sheet. The balance sheet's going to show you all your assets and all your debts. It's going to show something that's very valuable for you to judge yourself by, which is net worth. How do you tell if you're doing better or not? Is truly net worth. What is net worth, Noah?
Yeah, your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities equals your owner's equity or net worth. We do it for businesses on the tax side, and we like to do it for each personal person. If we run them like a business, if we see your cash flow analysis, see the money coming in, see the money coming out, it's got to make sense or else it's going to be unsustainable. You're going to go into debt. Massive amounts.
And that's a normal American way, is to go into debt and worry about paying it over time. We'll save money later. We want you to have a different mindset, and that is this. Let's learn to save first. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, let's help you. Let's figure out where the money's going, where it's flowing, where we can cut, and then let's save first. Make that savings a bill. So we like to tithe and give money to charity first, and then give money to your future self through savings. That saving might help clean up your foundational finances, which we got to fix. But what we start with a financial fingerprint is getting to know you, and for you to have everything put together and see if it all works the way you want it to go. And that's where we begin, and we create a written things to do list of things that need to get fixed and cleaned up, and we help where we can. Yes, you'll have some work to do, but within a year, what's nice is when things are organized, cleaned up, and we're like, what are we going to do now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's when the fun begins.
That's when the goals and dreaming and what do you actually want to do?
Yeah.
And then a couple of years after that, it's like, we want to reach a goal. I like that.
Sometimes that identifying is also identifying the bad habits that they have.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have to get them into a better rhythm. Like if you're eating out every single day, that is a dietary bad habit. There are financial bad habits that we get into.
Oh, one of the worst case scenarios was a husband and wife where they were helping kids out, and they're in their 30s, helping them out, but all the time. And it's always little pieces, but they never, ever added it all up. Mm-hmm. We took a whole year of bank statements and added it all up for them because they were asking the questions. They were making like $300,000 a year. And then the question I had is, where is it? Mm-hmm. And they have no money in the bank, nothing saved. They only had long-term investments, so nothing in the short term. That means nothing's hitting the cash. And they said, well, let's think about it. So ultimately what happened with a financial fingerprint is we're able to identify the problems, and those problems became a way to have a solution where we then had the kids come in for financial planning and come up with a way for them to live within their own budget to stop asking the parent bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said the American way, spending more than you have.
90% of Americans are not savers. They spend first, and then they're in debt for most of their life, and then they retire with very, very little. What we want at Akers Financial Group is to understand that the Akers way of doing things is financial planning. Financial planning leads to good, strong advice. Good, strong advice is directed towards what's best for you, and then we implement and apply it based on you. Because when we retire, the best part of retirement is going to be getting your time back, where you decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job. A lot of that goes away in retirement. Your time is now consumed by things that you want to do. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Go to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. Go ahead right there and tap to schedule a meeting. Let us know you'd like to schedule a free consultation with one of our team of advisors. That's akersfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule a free in-person meeting. Go to akersfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. What does gardening have to do with your investments? We'll explain this in a moment.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Indeed. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Noah Akers. Noah Akers and I are covering the Akers Way. The financial fingerprint is an approach where we sit down and talk with people about where they are now and then guide them through a financial planning process and get the answers that they need. So what we're doing in the show today is really trying to explain the why, understand what's going on with this, and really, really trying to give you the reasons to get started. Or if you've been running the race hard and fast and not really keeping score, it's a really good thing to gather it all together, especially beginning of a year or any time really, where you get all those statements at one time, pile them all together, then come see us. Mm-hmm. All right, Noah, you ready to go? Second quarter here?
Yes, of course.
All right, so this is going to be a tough questions, tough thing to work with. But we're going to talk about gardening. I don't feel like you and I are gardeners, so we're going to struggle with these examples, but I need to explain how I feel about gardening.
Yeah, I would love to hear us have a conversation about gardening. All right. And then have the wives correct us later.
Absolutely. So what does gardening have to do with your investments? So I like, I'm sorry, my voice changes every time. I really like the concept of gardening. So what I want to do is talk about the basic, you have a garden out front of your house. In that garden, there's things that you need to pull. They're weeds. You got to get rid of them, right?
Right.
So in investments, when we do a financial fingerprint and we see things, we go, oh, that's a weed. That investment's a weed. You bought that in 1998. We need to pull that. Because the question I asked them is, would you replant that? Would you rebuy that same one? Oh, no, I'd never buy that again. So why'd you own it? I'm hoping it comes back up. Well, imagine that that's your money, because it is your money sitting there. You might have $10,000 in that investment that was $80,000, and you just don't want to sell it because you just don't want to feel the pain of that weed. But weeds got to get pulled.
Sometimes they've got thorns and thistles, but they don't bear fruit, right?
You're going too far.
I think most weeds don't bear fruit.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, if they do bear fruit, it's probably not healthy for us.
I wouldn't eat it.
But there's always an example of something that's an exception. But in this simple example, your weeds, we pull the weeds. Same thing in portfolio, pull the weeds. The next thing is you have to prune the good plants. Pruning is the trim.
Yes.
So in portfolio design is reallocation. It does mean selling even the very best stocks at times to reallocate so that you're not over concentrated in one stock. So what does gardening have to do with investments? Well, one idea is this: pull the weeds, prune the good ones, and you're building a garden, and you start planting and building plants into that same garden that all work together based on your goal. And that's exactly what portfolio and financial planning does. Gives your money purpose and lets it grow. So that's my gardening example. Now, Noah, you're going to go a lot deeper with yours because you've had consultations with one of your clients.
Yes, lots and lots. So we need fertilizer. Are we talking about like aerating the soil as well? Is that how deep we're getting into this? We compost.
Explain all of those things and apply it to investments, because that's what I'd like you to do.
Apply it to investments as well. So composting. We throw like empty coffee grounds and eggshells into our garden and stir it, mix it up with some dead leaves and twigs and stuff. You know, you're supposed to mix brown and green, both living and dead, and then let it to marinate. I'm going to use the word marinate. It's probably wrong. And then you add that to the soil so then things can grow better. I want to talk about that in the form of healthy habits for our investments.
Nice.
Because doing that ritually, seasonally, at the proper times is the way to infuse cash. So we've talked about like dollar cost averaging. That is what we would call a healthy habit. It's when we take the money from your savings account and we inject it straight into an investment. We're not doing all of the investment, all of the money from the bank account straight in all at once. We're doing it slowly, monthly typically. That way we can slowly put the I'm losing the gardening example here, but we can slowly enter into the market and that we're buying at highs and we're buying at lows.
Because dollar cost averaging takes the emotions out of investing and trying to decide. You just automatically put it in every month, buy on a high, buy on a low. The concept is you're buying. You're buying for the long term. 401ks do this. It's anything that comes out of your checking, any type of automatic saving. And dollar cost averaging is a great way to buy the market.
It does a great job of mitigating your risk, because if you put it all at once, the market's going to shoot up or shoot down. All of your money is currently at that risk. And so going back to gardening, when you fertilize, you're fertilizing everything all at once. So it's a little bit different, but I think it's close to the same. I'm thinking of different kinds of plants that we have. And so we have like pepper plants, and peppers grow up, but then they need like a string or something that latch onto. Or maybe it's green beans. I'm getting them wrong.
It's your story now.
And so sometimes things need a little bit of help when they grow. And so I see that being a lot of what we do in like our step 5 of our financial fingerprint, which is that routine evaluation. And so when you're talking about pruning, we're talking about trimming some, making sure others can remain healthy, supporting your investments properly. We're not sitting it and forgetting it completely.
You can be that pepper plant support.
Yes, pepper plant support.
All right, so what you're getting at is that there's purpose in growing your plants, and there's a way to grow them better and stronger, and all of those things are adding value to the plant to get what you want. Some people say, I don't have a green thumb, so forget about it. I'm just going to go somewhere else. Now, we can be that for someone where what we do is we do it for you. Also, when you want to grow it yourself, you still need some guidance on the whole way, how to start, how to get it to grow, and as it's growing, how to get it to grow stronger and stronger to maximize the value of the plant, right? I think that's where you're heading.
Yeah, I've got another really good one I just thought of.
We'll try it now.
Have you heard of squash borer?
No, I have not.
Squash borer is this like insect that comes and attacks just your squash.
Okay.
So if you're growing squash in your backyard, front yard garden, and if you don't put a net over it for certain months of the year, squash borer will come in, lay eggs, and devour your squash.
All right.
I'm going to use the example that is the IRS.
That's the IRS.
government.
Squash.
That's taxes.
But the word is squash borer or squash poor?
Squash borer.
Spell it for me.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you can't. Come on.
I think it's B-O-R-E, so squash borer.
Sure.
But
all right. And you're equivalent that to taxes.
Okay. And so we need to put our net around our taxes.
Sure.
Around our investments on the particular ones, because we talk a lot about.
What's your favorite net?
Buckets. We like the Roth net.
Absolutely.
The Roth net does the best job of keeping that Uncle Sam, little flying Uncle Sam coming in, laying its eggs and killing our squash.
Yeah, so pre-tax retirement is where you get a deduction now, and then you pay later on the harvest time. At the harvest, when the money all comes due, that's when all the taxes are due at the highest value. Mm-hmm. Roth IRA, you pay tax now and never again. To me, it makes really good sense.
Yeah, it is such great.
So don't have squash boredom.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. I got. Are you done with all
that? Yeah, okay. I like that one.
All right, let's drop the mic on that one. So for those that are listening, we're talking about financial fingerprint and the basics of financial planning. This quarter, we're trying to apply gardening to investments just so that you guys think about it a different way. Now, what happens is not all of us know finances in and out, but we have to deal with our finances. We need to understand what's good and what's bad. We need to understand what is the right thing for you and your family. Financial planning narrows down what's good for you and your family. Now, what I wanted to cover last year, this quarter, is about investing. So investing, if someone's presenting you an investment and they tell you these things, and that is, what is a perfect investment? So no, when we think about perfect investment, we want the investment to grow, right?
Oh, man.
Always grow.
I want it to grow better than the market.
But you want access all the time. You want access all the time. You want to be able to get that money back out.
Pull it in, pull it out.
And then you want it never to go down.
Yeah.
So you want to protect it.
Yeah. Is that too much to ask?
It is too much to ask. So if you want protected, liquid, and growth, those are like a little triangle. You can have 2 out of 3 of those things, but you can't have all 3. So if an investment is trying to tell you you're getting all 3, you need a red flag saying something's wrong.
Yep.
So if we're liquid and growth, that means we can't have protected. Liquid and growth is the stock market. Mm-hmm. You can buy and sell stocks any day of the week. You can get your money back anytime, but it'll be up or down. Liquid and protected is money in the bank. That's money that is protected by the FDIC, liquid all the time, but you don't make a lot of money. If you looked at protected and growth, the category there, I see that as an index annuity or some type of buffer-supported investing ETFs that have a downside protection, but you have to pay for it. You don't get the full market gain, and you also don't get the liquidity when you have protected and growth because your money's locked in over time. So there's some early withdrawal penalties or other costs of trading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it makes sense to hedge things with those vehicles that we offer to a lot of our clients. But like we were talking about earlier, financial fingerprint, it's about them. It's not about me. It's about we. It's about not selling what we want to sell, because honestly, we don't have anything that we directly want to sell. I like someone telling me their story and then letting me piece together what they need.
And it starts with that financial fingerprint. The hardest part is when you're comparing a financial planning process to an investment where they're trying to sell you the benefits of it, and you're listening, oh, that sounds great. I can make money 8-9% and never lose it, all access. The thing is not true. It's not going to be true. And so the hardest part is this. What is reality for you is that you need to have good habits. You need to save your money. If you save your money over time and invest it long term, things will work out well for you in time. Good habits will get you where you need to be. Yeah.
How is someone who's not in this field like we are every day, how are they supposed to identify what is bad and what is good from what their other advisors are saying? So a lot of times we even do like secondary advice for people.
Yeah, the opinions on where they are now. The hard part I have is that very few people gather all the information. And the reason we're doing a show today called Financial Fingerprint is explaining how important it is to know all the information so you can have a groundwork of where we're starting so we can build from there. Mm-hmm. And so that really is a key way at Akers Financial Group that our Akers way starts with planning. Your financial fingerprint, which is unique to you and your family, we take that information and build the plan, build the advice off of that plan. That's the key to that. Now, Akers Financial Group, we're local, we're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you. We have offices in Lutherville and Forest Hill. We meet clients all around the Mid-Atlantic region, even a bunch around the country, and even a few around the world. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Just give us a call and schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors. You do that by calling 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting. Go to AkersFinancialGroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Do you know where your money is? We'll talk about that when we come back.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group. Here with me today is Noah Akers. We are financial advisors from Akers Financial Group. And what we do on our show today is we're doing Financial Fingerprint, the Akers Way. Our process of financial planning, gathering information, and then gathering your goals and thoughts from you to figure out what is best, putting in writing the answer so that you can then have a plan to guide you. That is a key way that we work with people. We highly recommend that you consider this when you're going through things. Now, Noah Akers is a financial advisor here at Akers Financial Group. He has his MBA, and he's also been my son for his entire life.
Yep, all 28 years of that.
So you've seen me as a financial planner for all your life, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I have.
Now, for years, you thought about financial grouper and how important that was.
Yes, what an industry.
So financial planning, if you had to define financial planning in your mind, what's the good part of financial planning as you think about things?
So we can't control everything.
Correct.
I think that's the first thing that you have to have in mind. Mm-hmm. But there is a better way of doing things. And so we get to help people. Mm-hmm. And often it's about finances. We're talking about finances all the time with our clients. But it intrudes into the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's so much more than finances, and all that extra derive the right financial answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we ask a lot of questions, hopefully not drilling clients, but more learning about them, who they are, what they want to do with their money and with their life. Right. Because money is going to be the way that they fund their livelihood, what they do, what vacations, what kind of car they drive. And so we want the best for you and you to be able to be the best steward of your money. And we want to help equip you to be able to do that. So you've seen me be an advisor for the last part of my life.
Yeah.
And you've been enjoying being the father of...
Well, what's cool is when I get to watch you and your wife and you applying finances, and for me to use you as an example for younger couples to say, this is how my son did it. And that's a very fun thing to say. Now, I also tell them I did not bail you out because I believe that kids need to learn their own way, live within their own means, and parents have to watch bailing people out. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy fundamental thing, but you got to get in your own trouble sometimes. You got to make your own decisions, create your own bills. I don't like when parents give a lot of money for a house purchase and the kid buys too much house early on in their life, and they can't afford the electric, the insurance, all these other pieces. So that the niceness of giving them $50,000, $100,000 to buy a bigger house, all of a sudden the whole concept of a bigger house doesn't fit that budget. And so that's been, when I've seen problems in planning, is how we treat kids, how we let them make their own mistakes, how we are careful with how we help. I think it's very important.
And then when we get into meetings with the parents, your teaser was, do you know where your money is? And sometimes it's locked up in my kid's house right now.
Well, sometimes it's that, but sometimes they don't know. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they get a job, they click a couple buttons on the first day of paperwork, and then 10 years later, they haven't looked at it again. Yep. They've never logged into the website because that's just not their thing. And I'm always hoping that one of the spouses care a lot. That's always a good thing for us so that we can relate. If both spouses don't care about finances, then we have to become the one that cares about their finances. Sometimes they might care a tremendous amount, and they might become what we call very good savers, clients that can achieve all kinds of unusual goals, like retiring very early in life, having the choice to be financially independent in their early 50s because they're willing to do the work early on.
Yeah, so the concept of FIRE.
Yeah, FIRE, yeah. If financial independence, retire early, is FIRE. Now, do you know where your money is? So everyone out there, just think about it. Where's your money at? Okay, you have a couple of accounts. It's nice to know who's the custodian, but how it's invested. What do you own?
Does your spouse know where your money is at?
Oh, do your spouse knows where your logins are?
Yeah. Do they know your passwords? Do you know where you've put in? Do they know where you've worked previously? Do they know about that old retirement account from the hospital that you worked out 20 years ago?
And that's why we clean all this stuff up when we do financial fingerprint. We like to know where you've been so we can gather all those assets, put it all into one type of account so that you can then be ready to retire.
Mm-hmm. And if does your kid know where your money is at?
No.
Do they know how to handle things if something happened to both the parents?
Well,
are you answering personally for that?
Well, no, I'm cautious on when we tell kids money. Mm-hmm. I believe kids need to know money when they need to know money. Whoever you choose as your trustee or your secondary trustee, your custodian later after you and your spouse, I think they need to know that they're hired for that job. I think as we get older, and I mean older, that they might need to have family meetings at that time as the kids come in place to take over. I've seen many horrible situations where once you tell kids the money, all of a sudden the kids know how much money to try to ask for.
That's terrible.
And we've seen a few clients where through manipulation, kids have asked the mom for a lot of money until it was gone. Mm-hmm. And so I'm very cautious on telling family about all the assets. I believe the assets are the client's money, period. To provide for them to their very last day. Whatever's left over is for the next generation. Prior to that, if we can calculate there's more than enough money, you can start gifting and doing some other real fun fancy planning, charitable giving, stuff like that. But I want the kids to understand that the parents' money is the parents' money. It's a gift to them later, a legacy later, but they need to have their own financial plan, survive on their own, save on their own, build their own wealth. Mm-hmm. It's a hard discipline for people to understand between the two. They say, oh, my parents have money, they should give to me. Just like we were talking about earlier about financial fingerprint isn't inherited. I don't think financial planning, the good habits are inherited. They're learned. Mm-hmm. They're learned, they're developed. All of us need better financial habits. Where's our money? That's a habit. We have websites that help us track where our money is. I love having a website I can log into. It's all there. Now, these links and all the security causes some things not to show up every day, but generally, I know where the money is, how it's doing.
Yeah, and that's why we do our discussion items.
Oh, yeah.
Is to have it written out so then the financial planner and the client can both see where their assets are at, and then they can work through it. And sometimes you will have known this client for 5-10 years, and they go, oh, you don't have listed this asset that I have, or this timeshare that I purchased a couple years ago, or I just bought a new car. You don't have that on your discussion items. Like, oh, we haven't spoken about it yet.
Yeah.
And so it's a great way to have a reminder to bring up new topics that you guys need to talk about.
Yeah, so I think about my career. Back in the 80s when I was just getting started, I was at Virginia Tech Finance, taking a lot of investment classes, real estate, insurance, all kinds of things. And then I was doing financial planning as an assistant. And what really was the thing that drove me is that how am I going to pick an investment for someone without knowing everything about them? Mm-hmm. And it just stuck in my head that I can't just go around and say, hey, I have this one product, it is good for you, and then go around and sell that to everybody. Because that's what the industry wanted. There's insurance jobs, there are stockbroker jobs in New York. I had both offers, but it was not what I wanted. Financial planning was the only way where it started with the client. This is way before the fiduciary rule, way before best interest, all of that. So becoming a certified financial planner very early on was very important to me to understand that process of understanding what clients want and need, and then comparing what they want versus what they need, and then helping reach goals. And then the planning ultimately gave me what they need to invest in. And so it was a top-down approach of that, not a product-driven approach. And that is a big deal. We started Akers Financial Group 20 years ago because we wanted to be independent, to be a company that can keep that same process in place. Mm-hmm. That's not normal in the financial industry.
Yeah, you've probably had this conversation multiple times before. I have. And it's which we get into a conversation and you're like, my other advisor and I, we never talked about this. Mm-hmm. Well, we never even thought to look about it in this way. And I go, well, that's good that we're having that conversation now.
Yeah, I had a new client. One of their best friends is their stockbroker. Mm-hmm. And then I said, well, why do you have money with a little bit of money with me? And all I say it's like $6 million with them. But why do you have any money with me? Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, he never talks about this. He doesn't talk about taxes or QCDs or where to take money from. Doesn't talk about liquidity planning and legacy planning and bringing it all together. Doesn't talk about estate planning. And I said, well, that's the value we add, but we'd love to be your advisor on everything. Mm-hmm. And so it's hard for us not knowing about everything. And so in that case, they can keep their friend as an advisor as long as he wants to work. Then we take it over later. And we also can charge a planning fee to guide them in the right way. But that's hard to want to pay an extra fee because their current advisor doesn't do that.
Yeah. And I also find that a lot of the problem lies with the terminology. They're like, oh, that's my financial guy. Oh, they actually just sell you life insurance, right? Or they just sell you annuities, and they're calling themselves financial advisors. Right. And so when we call ourselves financial planning advisors, do you hear the difference there? It's planning. It's because we do the whole plan. Yeah, we operate it, and then we have the keys to unlock all those different avenues as well.
Yeah, so the idea is this. When you listen to the show, you're listening about financial fingerprint. This quarter is about, do you know where your money is? The concept is this. Well, do you know where your money is? Have you done true financial planning on your goals? How do we achieve a goal without planning for it? I just don't understand how that's possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so what happens if we throw a bunch of money at things? You're going to do okay, but are you really going to maximize your goals and hit every marker in your life that you'd like to do? Probably not.
Probably not.
Is there a better way to do it? I absolutely, totally agree that there is a better way to do things. Well, there's a lot going on when I'm talking about financial planning. It means a lot to me. Mm-hmm. What I want you to understand out there is this, will this year be the year you finally have a plan to achieve financial freedom? Financial freedom can be achieved when you have a proper plan for retirement. A plan that is as unique as your fingerprint. We have helped hundreds of families in Maryland plan for retirement. Our goal is for you to have a plan that will allow you to have a true financial freedom that is designed for you. With you in mind, we will monitor, we'll adjust as needed. We are local, we're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street, we report to you, our client. Make this year the year you begin to achieve financial freedom. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE and schedule an in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors by calling 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-946-7384, or visit our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. Scroll down to the button at the bottom of the homepage and request us to schedule a meeting right there. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE or go to akersfinancialgroup.com. Is your financial advisor really your financial advisor? Let's talk about that in just a moment.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Indeed. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, president and founder of Akers Financial Group. Here with me today is Noah Akers, financial advisor and son of the founder, Brian Akers.
Yeah, so I was going to say president and founder's son.
Yeah.
I don't get that full title, though.
No, that's okay. Now, being a son is something that's probably hard on you because I've made you earn every step of the way what you had to do. But as a financial advisor, what happens is this. Noah and I work really well together for our clients in a way of making sure we're doing what's best for them by knowing our client. Understanding that has become the key thing in the industry is a fiduciary relationship. Understanding the interest of the client. we need to know about you to be able to offer right advice. And we love that that's becoming a new standard, because we have always wanted that to be the standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, when we have our meetings, we have a notepad or an iPad or something to take notes, to write down everything that we can find out. If you have some sort of dream to be sitting on a beach in Cuba in 30 years, we want to be able to help you with that. I don't know why you'd want to go to Cuba.
Why just use the word Cuba? Let's use somewhere.
St. Thomas.
Florida.
Florida? You can go to Florida.
Yeah, let's say Florida.
Some people want to get off the grid.
Off the Grid, that's not,
Is it Cuba
not St.
Off the
Thomas. Off the Grid's a different radio show.
Sorry.
So basically, the idea of recently my talks were Costa Rica for someone who went to BYU Beach. Costa Rica had good health care tied to U.S., just as a thought.
Okay.
So this quarter, in the fourth quarter, we're trying to clean up the Financial Fingerprint show. And what we're trying to clean up is get the ideas out there about why Financial Fingerprint's important. But we want to start in the fourth quarter about this. Is your financial advisor really a financial advisor? Is a financial planning advisor? Now, there's something called a registered investment advisor. That's an RIA company, and then their investment advisory representatives. They have the ability to charge fees, but not everyone is an RIA or works for an RIA.
Correct. Yeah. Some are just actually brokers where they can just take stock trades and that's all they do day in and day out is just stock trade. They'll just call you, oh, this one I like. Yep. That's not a financial advisor. They're not looking at the whole picture. They're not allowed to look at the whole picture.
Yeah, well, they're required to get more information nowadays, but they're not, like in their software, they can't recommend taxes. They tell you right away, can't do this advice. So understanding when they say those things, they really are not going to give you that advice.
Yeah, and when I make a decision, I want to have all the cards on the table. I want to know everything in and out, and then I want to find the best way. Sometimes it involves looking at a couple different options and then choosing the best one and talking through what are the ramifications of putting my money into this instead of doing this or that with it. And so it's really good to find out who your financial guy is, what they do, and then ask the important questions, like if they're asking you all the important questions.
Yeah, so financial advisors, let's talk about something called Broker Check. And on everyone's webpage now, there should be a tab called Broker Check. Broker Check means that they're licensed to be a stockbroker, or they have another license to be an investment advisor representative, or in like our case, we have both. But through Broker Check, you type their name in, it'll tell you their history, where they work, what tests they've taken, and how they're licensed. How they're licensed will dictate what they can do for you. Now, what I've also found is that there are insurance-only people. They don't have any security license at all. They really should not be talking about your investments and ever. They shouldn't be giving you advice on what to buy or sell because they're not licensed to do that. But they have insurance license, and then that means their solution will be insurance. It's sort of like going to a doctor. If you go to one that's a surgeon, their solution's a surgery probably.
Yeah. I find that a lot of people don't know just how much back work it takes to get to what we do. And so the licenses of taking the SIE test, that's about 80 to 150 hours of studying. Then doing the Series 7, another 100 some hours of studying. And then doing the series, if you take the 66 or 65 or 63 combined, that's another 100 some hours of studying. And then CFP on top. That takes on average 2.5 years plus 5 years of work.
Right.
And so it's not just, and you have to have a 4-year degree on top of all that.
Right.
And so if they are calling themselves a financial advisor and all they did was take one of the life and health insurance exams, which is about 70 to 80 hours, you can see why a financial planning advisor would be different than what they do.
Yeah, so that's just the logistical part of how they got licensed, let alone how they work. Now, what happens though in business, in financial planning business, is some people get a niche and they do a lot the same way. Like if they specialize in retirement, they might have a process, a way, and that way might lead to doing a lot of things the same. But financial planning is that it's not going to be the same. We're going to take buckets of money. We're going to draw income at the rate that you need. We're going to have cash set aside based on what your needs are. You want a second home, a third home, a fourth, a fifth home. We're going to have different designs for each person. Your financial fingerprint is unique to you. So why not design finances that are unique to you? And that's exactly what we want to try to work on. Now, the idea is this. When you get a good second opinion from a financial planner, what you're going to find is where they would help you get to. And if you feel you're not reaching the goals that you have, that's a good reason to get a second opinion. Our team of advisors have been trained throughout the years here at Akers Financial Group to truly try to understand what you want so that you can then figure out how to get there. And that's the only way that I know how to do financial planning.
Yeah, it is great to even ask your financial advisor, how are we doing with our money and what is our plan? If they can't answer what our plan is in a way that you accept or that makes sense to you, if it doesn't make sense to them, it's not going to make sense to you. And so it might be best to go get a second opinion.
The topic I love is how are we going to retire? Where's the money going to come from? When do I draw Social Security? When do I take money out of the IRA? When do I draw my pension? Is it joint life? How do we work all that? And I love having my answer because that's something we do all the time. And I think it's a very important piece of our planning is to guide people into how to use all the savings in the right way.
Yeah, we know how to juggle. Some people don't know how to juggle.
Yeah. Now, in Akers Financial Group, we have clients of all net worths, from negative net worth that need to get out of debt to positive 20, 50 million or more. Those clients all have fundamental needs within their own person. They have income needs, cash flow needs. A lot of it's the same no matter what. The details are maybe more complex the more wealth you have because you have more things to worry about, and you got to put things in place for it. And so when there's a goal, there's an answer to the goal. And that's what we spend a lot of our time in classes and researching is to make sure we have the right answer for clients. We do radio shows so we can educate the clients on processes that we like. We created our process, the Financial Fingerprint, and what I'm going to ask Noah to do is to go over our 5 points of a financial fingerprint, what we try to do.
Yeah, of course. We do it for everybody. We do it for the low net worth. We do it for the high. The high net worth might take more meetings to do, but we are patient and we work through it. So step number 1 is identify. We need to know where the funds are at, where you are at with your house, with your debt, with retirement, where you're working at, what your plans are, where you're living, what do you plan to live at. We need to know your whole financial picture by identifying. And that's where we were talking about in the first quarter about how to identify all of that. And if you want to go back and listen, we have all of our radio show on Spotify. It's on our website. Are we also on Apple Podcasts?
Any podcast source.
Okay.
Every one
you
of
can
them.
always go back, listen to that first quarter.
Winning in retirement. Yep.
And so step number 2, after you get the identify, after we see where all of your assets are at, we want to inform and educate. That's where we sit down, we walk through all of your statements. Do you know what this is for and what its purpose is? And are we really heightening the potential for each of those accounts? Because sometimes someone's trying to grow money in a highly taxable account, or someone's not letting money grow and it's in a tax deferred account. And so
I don't like when a Roth IRA is in like a CD.
Yeah.
I like Roth IRA to take risk.
Oh, it's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful to see. And so that leads us into level number 3, the level of risk that you are taking. And so the higher level of risk that you take, yes, you have the higher potential of earning more or making more, but you also have the potential of losing more.
Yep.
You have to take both hand in hand. Number 4, you have to have an intelligent allocation. Is that where we come in? Are we the intelligence?
We are sure trying.
Akers Financial Intelligent Design.
Yeah.
And so we want to design the portfolios intelligently with every aspect of your life involved in that decision. Yep. Not just do you say yes or no. No, we want to see everything.
Take the 2027 plan.
Yeah.
We don't have it like that.
Yeah, I'd like to retire in 2035. Let's just put it all in one thing and then let them trade, not how the market's doing, but just by time.
Yeah.
So, that's not a great idea.
Well, it's a convenient idea how to make things easy, but it's not the best for that person.
Yeah. No, because everybody has a different risk tolerance, but risk also, you have to think about purchasing power and political risk and knowing exactly when to make the right moves. And that's something that we've been experienced in doing. Number 5, the last one, is the one that we do most often, I would say, would be the routine portfolio evaluation. What do you do in your portfolio evaluations, Father?
All right. So when it comes to clients that are existing, is we do annual reviews or semi-annual or quarterly, depending on what's going on in their life. That means we meet with you more than once. You don't just invest and then forget. We want you to come in. You can do a check-in. You can do an hour. You can do an hour and a half. We plan it based on how much time we need to cover. So in those meetings, we have written information about where your money is. We talk about that. We talk about your goals. We talk about how things are going in your life. And then we figure out what's next.
That's exactly what you need to be doing. Good job.
But they need to be coming in. There has to be a cycle to this. Planning, monitoring, tracking, reviewing, planning, keep going. The planning doesn't stop.
Are you saying that Akers Financial doesn't just meet once and then never again?
Correct.
Wow.
We beg the client, please come back. We want to keep talking to you. Some like, I did it. Brian fixed it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good for it. That might be good for a year, but come back.
Talking in person or over a phone call or Zoom is so much faster and better way of gathering information, seeing where things are at.
All right. Thank you very much, Noah, for a good show about for the financial fingerprint, the Akers way. The show went quick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the information we provided. We do look forward to meeting with you. We want you to win in your retirement by taking advantage of the opportunity to begin planning with us at Akers Financial Group. To schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors, go to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the schedule meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule a meeting right there. That's akersfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule a free in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Go to akersfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group offers securities through Archedios Capital, an SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services are provided through Archedios Wealth. Akers Financial Group and Archedios do not share any common ownership. Neither Archedios nor Akers Financial Group provides tax or legal advice. Advice given on Winning in Retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, and or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Examples and scenarios shared are meant to be for illustrative purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.